We're about 1 month away from the winter update release, and even though Rockstar haven't announced anything as of yet, it doesn't stop players requesting new types of content. So in this video, we're going through suggestions of content that you guys would like to see. Before I do get into the video, if you enjoy the content here and want to see a bit more from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Every single week we're uploading the latest tips and the latest news around Red Dead Online, and when that winter update does finally arrive, we'll be going daily showing you everything that you need to know. So if this is of any interest to you, then make sure you are following the channel. Getting back into the video, the Blood Money update, which was the previous update that we had back in the summer, wasn't received well by the dedicated audience. Everyone wanted major heists, and Rockstar even promised this, but in the end what we got was linear versions and reskin versions of the stranger missions that were already within the game. So with this next update that's coming, for the players that are still playing, they want to see a little bit more from Rockstar. They want content with replayability, they want more items to buy, they want a better Red Dead Online experience. And there's no better way to know exactly what players want other than actually asking them. So over on the community tab, I put this post up. We're about 1 month away from the next Red Dead Online update. I'm curious what type of content Rockstar needs to deliver for you to be interested. Thank you to everyone that did respond to this post. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go through every single one of them, but we will be going through those that were highly requested. The first comment comes from Anime Master, and they say houses. They should make it so we can have our own houses and we can put them anywhere on the map, just like camps, but better. And they should make it so that if someone lowers their white flag, other online players can loot their houses and take their stuff just like camps. I feel like this would be way better and more fun for online players. Also, I'm still kind of new to the game. I just got it in August but didn't start getting into it until last week. Love it so far. You'll see a reoccurring theme for this video with the comments that have been selected, that there's a lot of people that want different types of houses and different types of properties. This solves a lot of problems. I think for a lot of properties, we won't be able to have it exactly where we want anywhere within the map, but we do already have it with camps, and we do already have a selection with moonshine shacks, where we can change to different set locations. We're now 3 years into Red Dead Online, and there is only really one property to buy into. This is the moonshine shack. Players want to have more because it actually gives us a goal. Right now, there's loads of people going through different types of roles, starting the game, going through a land of opportunity missions, building up money, going through collector sets to get even more money, and they have nothing to spend it on. Properties solve this issue. There will actually be something to work towards rather than what we have right now, where those that do still grind money are there to see the number increase and potentially get something good with the next update. But with every single update that's arrived, unfortunately there's nothing to actually buy. The next comment comes from Big Bosco, and they say, I really couldn't say what would bring me back. I feel that whatever they release, people just finish it within a week and have nothing to do for 6 months again. I think the problem lies with the lack of updates throughout the year, not what's actually within them. This is a very popular opinion. Even if Rockstar made it so there was one update every 3 months rather than 6 months, it's less of a wait and there will be more content to actually go through, rather than it being one every 6 months and then for those 6 months to be drip fed content. Unfortunately, with this, no matter what your opinion is, it's still down to Take-Two and Rockstar pushing out content. And the thing is, with GTA, it works incredibly well for the amount of content they have already within the game that it's easy to scale. With Red Dead, it hasn't got that. It also didn't help when Red Dead Redemption 2 was released that there was an outcry from media and the crunch time that the Rockstar employees had to go through just to release the game. This has also changed the complete direction of Rockstar games since then. But I do believe that there is a perfect middle ground to actually think through updates to actually bring more replayability rather than it being the linear content that we have so far. The whole reason why the previous Blood Money update was based off a lot of stranger missions that were already within the game is because they're easily scalable. One incredibly easy way in which Rockstar could do this is giving players the tools to create their own maps. This will save Rockstar a lot of time, as they won't have to create different types of showdown series, different types of races, different types of survival modes. They will need to create a tool and then allow players to have access to it, where they can upload different types of game modes, different types of maps, all to into the social club, which other players can then download. Don't get me wrong, this is not an easy solution, just building a tool that other players can use. I'm not saying that. But over the last 3 years, this is what players have been asking for. And in that 3-year time span, it could have been done. And it's such an easy solution that so many other games go through. The next comment comes from Celtic Thunder, and they say, there is nothing to work towards, nothing you can buy, or nothing that enhances or improves gameplay. Even new content is just reskinned original content. There is simply no reason to keep playing. And you're seeing that this is a reoccurring theme for a lot of players. There is nothing to push towards. We do have new players joining this game every single day. And for those players, when they first start up and go through it, there's actually a lot of content to go through. But for those that have been playing for a long time, that have actually gone through all the current content and they've managed to build up a good cash and gold reserve, they have nothing to do. Now, from Rockstar's point of view and Take-Two's point of view, this is only a small percentage of the fan base. The dedicated audience that has actually completed a lot of stuff is only about 5%, but that 5% is still a core component. So Rockstar, with every single update, should add something for those types of players, especially when we get weekly updates which include discounts on items or even boosts with certain role XP. For those that have been playing the game for a long time, they've already bought all those items, so those discounts don't matter. They've already managed to max out the role XP, so they don't need that XP. It just works out better if there was something bigger and better to work towards, exactly like the Celtic Thunder has said. The next comment comes from Aquinso Ocha, who says, sell/trade horses, be they broken from the wild or stolen, rancher or wrangler or breeder role at a bare minimum. This would be a great role within the game. We already have Clive and Clay Davis within the game, which was introduced within online. You actually do a mission for them within the tutorial where you have to steal a horse and bring it back to him. This actually ends up being your first horse, and they even say that this is an investment within you, and at some point within the future they'll be back to talk to you. Rockstar set it up perfectly. You can also already break horses within the game, and of course you can already steal horses. All Rockstar really need to do is actually set a place where you can actually sell these horses and link it into an XP system where you can rank up as in a role. If they really wanted to put an added cherry on top, they could even make it so that you can go and sell different types of wagons. You can steal the wagons in Saint Denis, take it over to Clive or Clay, or even over to the place in Emerald Ranch, exactly like what you can do within story, and you can sell that wagon as well. These are the activities that players would like to go through, and for the majority of the gameplay mechanics, they're already within the game. There's just that final part that needs to be added so it actually becomes worth it, or we can actually go and do these activities. Francisco Robles also adds to this. They say we need a bank heist and horse trading at a very minimum. Another player that would like to be able to sell horses within the game. The very simple thing as we've just said. But going on to bank heists and heists within general, it is the most highly requested content for Rockstar to add. And Rockstar within the past have said that heists will be coming, it just needs to fit within the player progression. It has now been 3 years since the release. We've gone through a lot of different activities. We've started off with main missions, started to go over to roles. We've even started to go into outlaw activities by itself. I think it is now time that bank heists get added. Even if it's very similar to the first initial types of heists that were added to GTA. This would be so much better, especially for those that have been playing for a long time. It doesn't need to be like what they've done with Cayo Perico, where they have to set up a whole new island. This, of course, is getting to the larger scale, but they can very easily set up different types of missions that you go through as setup missions and gradually build up for you to actually go and complete that final heist. For a lot of it, it wouldn't be too different to what they did with Opportunities. It's just done in a much better layout. And the final comment comes from Mike Fack. They say, we're 3 years in and it still doesn't feel like a full game yet. The thing Red Dead Online has been missing since its launch is the why factor. I enjoy the game a lot, and although I haven't played it for a few months, now it still feels incomplete with no direction and no objective except earn more money, which makes a beautiful Western game into GTA 2.0, which I don't believe the fans want. If they would finish the story of Jessica Leclerc at least, then we could say, right, this is the main objective to everything. Once that's complete, then add additional roles or even additional storylines. Narratively speaking, we have no idea where we are in the game's lifespan and feels like 3 years later we're still at the beginning and it hasn't really started. And this is just a perfect comment to leave this video. With everything that has been done so far, it feels like we're just briefly touching or just scraping the edge, but we don't go all the way in. As Mike said, we started a land of opportunity missions. This was the beginning. Rockstar did come back with a spring update in 2019 to add more missions, but since then we've had nothing. That story still hasn't finished. But even with the roles, most of them are good, but when Rockstar said that they're gonna come back to add more, we haven't seen that. And even when we did with the Bounty Hunter expansion, it didn't do anything. There was no change in gameplay which was promised, and it was just briefly scraping the edge. And with the Blood Money update, yes, it was an introduction to outlaw activities. Most players expected us to go and get heists, which we would be able to do. And yes, in some way, we kinda got it through opportunities. But when going through it, it just felt like it was holding back. It did feel like we just started right at the beginning, and gradually over time, Rockstar's going to release more content to the Blood Money update, and eventually that's when we'll be able to progress all the way through to those major heists. It's extremely rare that we get an update that goes down very well with fans, and then for that very next update to be released, Rockstar actually add on top of what was previously released. I don't really like comparing GTA to Red Dead that much, but there was one thing that I did like that they did with a previous update. And that's once they added the casino and resort. There was loads of players that was hyped to go and play this. There was so much build up, and once it was released, it actually went down fairly well. There was missions included, plus a communal space for loads of players. This was their summer update, but fast forwarding all the way to their winter update, Rockstar then added on top of this with the Diamond Casino heist. With this next major update, we don't know what's going to happen. It could be anything. The previous update was about outlaw activities. This next update could be about collecting flowers. We really just don't have a clue. It's always felt like there's no structure, and it always feels like Rockstar's just jumping one thing to another, and it leads to a lot of things being incomplete, like what we've had with a land of opportunity missions, the Jessica Leclerc story. Anyway guys, these are just a few suggestions from players that they would like to see as part of the next major update. If you have any suggestions of content that you would like to see, whether it be changes as Rockstar Games as themselves or changes to the game, then let us know in the comment section down below. Anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.